Hey, everyone.
Well,
Welcome,
the
Patriot.
morning after yet another assassination attempt on the President of the United States. And I want you to pay very particular attention as you watch the Sunday news shows today. And all the Democrats run up there and they want to talk about the dangers of political violence, but they will never, at any point, will any of them look their own voters, their own people in the eye and say, please stop trying to kill the fucking president. They won't say it. And why won't they say it? Because they actually want someone to succeed. Let's be very, very clear about what is happening right now. The Democrat Party, the people in charge at the Democrat Party, the people that are operating this color revolution in our country right now want someone to kill the president of the United States. They want him dead, which is why you have nothing but a slew of accounts out there, none of them saying, guys, stop. No. The only thing they have to say this morning was it's a staged event. Yes, because 31-year-old registered Democrat teachers are often cajoled into working with the Trump administration to stage an assassination attempt where he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. Yeah, I mean, that's normal. But to these people, it is normal because their brains don't work correctly anymore. And by the way, while we're on the topic, this right here is your Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. This is the reason why they want Pete Hegseth gone. It's also the same reason they want people like Kash Patel gone, because these people are serious about protecting and defending this country and the President of the United States. That right there is a warrior. That's not a politician. That's not a defense contractor executive running the Department of Defense. No, that's an actual warrior leading the Department of War. Look at him standing there, alert, covering his wife, covering the people around him while he's trying to figure out who he has to attack. He's not hiding. He's helping hide people that he cares about while he's ready to attack. This is why they want these people dead. It's why they want them gone, because they can never, ever win their color revolution when people like this are in control of the institutions that they want to take control over.
Yep. A lot more to come on that. What's everyone think about last night there?
The entire internet is asking the same question. Who is Cole Allen? He's a 31-year-old teacher. He's a Kamala Harris donor from California. We knew that. But then nobody really had any other questions because we weren't able to find any of his social media profile. Some people were sharing screenshots, but they were uncorroborated. But I can tell you that we have screenshots.
Benny did 3 or 4 good videos on this. I picked this one.
Directly from Cole Allen's now deleted social media that we're going to share with you that architect a perfectly crystal clear worldview that is anti-Trump, pro-trans, pro-Democrat Party, and that paint a
very anti-Christian, very, very hates Christians with a passion.
Much more radical picture of what was the teacher of the year, of course, in California. What's happening with our public schools, man? These are the people that are teaching your children. These guys. The guys that are willing to charge into a room featuring a bunch of senators, congressmen, half the elected cabinet with a long gun looking to blast their way.
And he was on Blue Sky a lot, and Blue Sky went and scrubbed everything off from there of his.
And do as much collateral damage as possible. Look at this. These are the people teaching your children. It's horrifying. Anyway, the radicalism of Cole Allen laid bare in our exclusive screenshots from his now deleted social media. President Trump also confirming that Cole Allen left a manifesto in his White House hotel room directly before he went on his shooting spree. He did shoot a Secret Service agent in the chest. Cole Allen, this is what his Facebook looked like. His Facebook under his name. It is now deleted, ladies and gentlemen. His Blue Sky now deleted, his Instagram and his LinkedIn now deleted, but we have the screenshots. The one thing that is still up is his YouTube at time of recording. Nothing particularly egregious here or concerning. It's just a bunch of gamer footage. It's just a bunch of gameplay footage that's been uploaded to his 28 subscribers. Some of the videos have 9 views. Some of the videos have 200 views, but really not much going on here. Most of the videos are 2 or more years old. And so this is Cole Allen's YouTube, just a lot of anime, a lot of gamer gameplay. This is Cole Allen's Blue Sky. And Blue Sky, if you're not aware, is like Twitter, but for libs who belong in mental institutions. Cold Force is the username that he goes by, Cold Force. He says, "Hi, I'm a random California guy who posts about American politics, support for Ukraine, observations of small creatures. I choose my own battlefields," ominously he says. "I stand on the battlefield to protect what I want." Okay. Let's go ahead and look at what does he post. What's he posting about here? Let's try and architect a worldview. So he's very pro-trans. Best time to buy a gun was greater than or equal to your state's waiting period days ago. Second best time is today, he says, in response to limiting transgender from owning firearms. So it's the guns then. So they're limiting transgender. The kind of conversational dialogue and argument that occurs on Blue Sky is truly depraved. Oh, okay. No, it's not the guns. It's the humans. It's always been the humans. It's always been about mentally ill human beings who commit evil. That's what it's always been. How do you even rationalize this? Well, anyway, he's saying that he wants trans people to own as many guns as possible, and he potentially wants violence. Cole Allen, in his manifesto, according to breaking news right now, saying, "I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with crimes," he says. This literally breaking right now. Okay. The manifesto, little pieces of the manifesto are coming out, little pieces of his now deleted Blue Sky and social media coming out. He's talking about how President Trump would support the Antichrist, and he's confirming that, effectively saying he thinks Trump is the Antichrist. Then he posts this GIF of a large man beating the crap out of a smaller man. "I give you the answer that solves your little problems," he says, that he would behave in a violent manner towards President Trump. Has any mainstream media reported on Russian missiles and drone attacks in Kyiv? He loved Ukraine. He loved Ukraine. I guess I could say loved, like he's still alive, right? So he did speak to the authorities. He did say that he was trying to target Trump and the administration officials. Now, apparently he's no longer talking, but his social media talks for him. He's proud that we didn't uphold our commitments. What a piece of shit, he says about J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance talking again about stopping funding for Ukraine. Here he is saying, why did this moron convert to Catholicism if he wanted to protest this much? Posting a clip of J.D. Vance at a Turning Point event. The Epstein files that have been released, it's public knowledge that he likely is basically a sociopathic mob boss talking about Trump. Like, that's just literally who he is. People got to stop treating him like somebody who honors agreements. So obviously very Trump deranged. Trump is literally one of those villains that if you beat his ass hard enough, he'll join your team. I don't really have any other insights on this. It's not really actionable because no way Schumer just caves to him acting his age, but like it would probably literally work on him. Okay. So here he is talking about Ukraine, posting memes, not a target, how the effing idiots in DC think Shahid's work. Sure. Really understand that, but I don't understand a lot of stuff that the Ukraine simps say at all. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells Fox News that a military draft is on the table. That's a great idea. You should definitely present the armed, depressed, and lonely young men of this country.
They're just killing each other from both sides there, Gregory.
Country with a choice between go die in the Middle East, distract from pedophiles and incessant crimes, and do January 6th, but better. What could possibly go wrong here? This is, I think, a critical one because he's talking about.
There's a lot of Fauci files and stuff there, and a lot with Hunter Biden there, where the deals and stuff like that. There's a lot of info there that they don't want out on the left.
Storming, right? Like the government. So in the mind of the lib, that's what happened. It was a violent, armed storming of the government, and that's what he ended up doing. This is what Cole Allen ended up doing. This is far more violent than anything that happened on January 6th. And that's just a matter of fact. We put a known traitor in office who explicitly ran on revenge, who effed up the COVID response, whose known connections to a murderous effort in the Kremlin. Mostly surprised by this administration's incompetence and fascism. I was expecting actual fighting to have started much earlier, he says. Okay. Keep these hands are rated E for everyone, the current impression of Ukraine in the public. So he's saying that he wishes to fight people, right, based on his love of Ukraine. Okay. And he's just posting, derpy boomer memes about Trump. That kind of stuff tends to happen, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we know thus far about Cole Allen. Cole Allen apparently had
he had another name in there, Thomas, as well.
A manifesto, and I guess we're going to see what happened. What we learned from that. President Trump was talking about it on Fox News this morning. This is Trump says writings show sick shooting suspects hates Christians. There you go.
From the stuff they scrubbed off of Blue Sky, some people have been posting, he really hated Christians. He wants us all dead. All Christians dead.
And he crossed the country on a train. Very weird. Checked into the Hilton one.
He didn't believe in the family.
Day before shooting, and took a train. This is outside of his house in California.
He took a train so he could get his weapons there.
What the hell went on here? I don't know. He's alive, so maybe we'll get some answers. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe for more answers. We'll stay locked in here. See ya.
Yeah, pretty sick. I don't know. Here's the video of them flying through past all the security, trying to get into that room to start shooting some people. He knew this was a suicide mission. He has a manifesto where he was talking a suicide note, basically, because it was like a suicide by attacking. That's what he was figuring on doing. That's how it's a cult. Watch how fast he goes flying by here. He'll come running from a ways away. He almost hit the guy there, and then he shot him. I got an enhanced version of this. I'll show you later. It's AI enhanced. It's very good, actually. I'll play that one a little bit later. I don't know if I want to go to Tusi or some of the other clips I have on this. Let me do a few of the other clips. Well, I don't know. They're all good. So why don't I do something other than this topic, I guess. Here's a good one about what's happening in Ireland.
Keir Starmer, you spineless traitor, banning truth tellers like Eva Vladingerbroek and Valentina Gomez, while illegal immigrants, pure betrayal of the British people. Clock is ticking for you to go. Hey, lefties.
Hey, Colin.
We're not far right.
You're just in time.
We're just right. While you lot are the ones cheering the violence, you bloody wankers. Keir Starmer is still clinging to power after forcing through Peter Mandelson despite the vetting warnings. It's pure arrogance at this point. Starmer's whole defense is officials didn't tell me, as if the buck doesn't stop with him for appointing a dodgy Blair relic anyway. I'm sick of watching Keir Starmer survive scandal after scandal. The Mandelson mess should have ended his premiership weeks ago.
There is that's the actual grainy one. There is an AI version of it where AI remade it.
Starmer sacked the messenger instead of admitting he messed up big time with Mandelson. Classic Labour cover-up, and he's still running the country. Wanker. If Keir Starmer had any decency left, he'd resign over the Mandelson-Epstein ties fiasco, but clearly power means more to him than integrity. Weasel. Look, enough is enough. Starmer knew exactly what he was doing with Mandelson. We can see through the
Oh, you mean this video? Yeah, this one. Gregory, if you're talking about this one, this is AI.
Excuses.
All of them from
this scandal proves he's unfit to lead, so it's time for him to go. If you're as fed up as I am, drop a like, subscribe for more straight talking truth, and comment below with your thoughts.
We're getting pretty good with the AI, though. Here's another AI one. I'm going to play this later, though, of the guy running past them. What they did is they took the actual video and they had AI remake it. There you go. Can't find the one I just played. There it is.
Shall I post it?
Delete it so I don't play it again. I'm going to replay that. Watch how fast this guy goes by. He'll become running from up there with the sign, see?
Shall I post it as soon as we pass down that?
I don't know why they didn't shoot him in the back right then. If it was me, I would have shot him in the back, if they asked me. I don't know. Pretty serious. Let me play a few other topics, I think. Let me see here. And then I'll get back to this when a few more people get on here.
Well, the fact that they counted, you have to have two intervening two intervening elections, as your guests have explained on past shows, and they tried to count the early vote period from 2025 as an intervening election. The election was already underway. 1 million ballots have been cast.
I can't believe he's still hanging on.
The reason that two intervening elections requirement in the Constitution of Virginia is so important is so people can think it through. They can understand who their representatives are, what they're voting for. This was so rushed that we just found a 70,000 vote ballot difference in the final results from Tuesday night. So the Department of Elections will take the 45 days of early voting. The results they're unofficial. They're not certified yet, but they're a solid number. They roll that into the election night votes as well. So they take that 1/3 of the early vote, the 45 days of early vote, roll that into the summary data from the election night voting, and
they believe in by any means necessary
give you a result. And we found a 70,000 vote difference. The votes were up by 70,000 from early voting that we never saw. I mean, we monitor the 45 days every day. We monitor what's being mailed in. We monitor what's being voted on a machine. So we started raising some questions, and Chesterfield had actually doubled its votes by accident, or somebody who was uploading or sending over the voter data in the big database in the sky, I suppose, was basically accidentally, we think, doubled Chesterfield's count. Chesterfield's final was 79,000 yes and 70,000 or so no. And yet there's an extra 70,000 coming in. Nobody noticed this except us. We've pointed it out, and the corrections were made. But across the board, we see this. We see localities that are losing, that are down, say 230 down.
Do too much of that, Colin. They'll come and start knocking on your door. They're arresting anyone posting against the government.
In Arlington. So what they had for early voting in Arlington for 45 days, whatever they're showing on election night for early voting is down by 230. We don't know why. Prince William County, down 237. Richmond City, down 278 early voters. And so we tally all that up, and still it's off by about 15,000 or so.
This is unbelievable.
Make of that what you will.
Yep. Unreal. And they get away with it all the time because we're letting them. But they're not really fighting hard enough to. Well, actually, a lot of people in power aren't fighting hard enough. We got to bug them to make them fight, I guess.
Washington has created a permission structure. They didn't have to say, go shoot Trump. They did something more dangerous and far more acceptable in our polite society. They spent years telling Americans that Trump is Hitler, that democracy ends if he wins.
She's right.
That his supporters are fascists. That's normal political disagreement. Is not disagreement at all, but an emergency, a crisis, a call for resistance. And then they act shocked when unstable people absorb that message. And here's the part the media doesn't want to say out loud. If you tell people over and over again that the man is the next Hitler, that America becomes a dictatorship if he survives politically, that every institution must stop him, then you're creating a moral framework where someone can convince himself that he's not committing violence, that he's actually saving democracy. That is a permission structure. No one has to hand him a written order. No one has to say the quiet part out loud. They just have to continue to say and make political violence seem morally understandable. For 10 years, they turned Trump from an opponent into an existential threat. They turned his voters into villains. They turned elections into an apocalypse. This isn't normal politics. This is radicalization. And the worst part, the double standard that's impossible to ignore today, is when the right uses heated rhetoric. The media diagnoses the entire movement in 5 minutes. They blame talk radio. They blame conservative media. They blame a map. They blame a slogan. They blame everyone. But when the left spends decades calling Trump Hitler, fascist, authoritarian, and a threat to survival of democracy, suddenly they want nuance. Suddenly, they want patience. They want to wait for a 900-page investigation before anybody can actually tell the truth. No, this is two scandals at once. The first scandal is security. How did a gunman get that close? Were there security failures, funding failures, screening, perimeter security, intelligence? Were there any warnings after Butler, after even West Palm Beach? And now this, the American people actually want answers. But here's the second scandal, and it's cultural. How did assassination imagery suddenly become background noise? How did death signs outside a political event suddenly become protest? And how fast did those protesters come out there? How did calling a former and current president Hitler become normal political language? The symbolism is brutal. The same political media class that spent years laundering anti-Trump hysteria was gathered in one room, and suddenly the consequences of national instability
Part of programming.
were not happening somewhere else. They were at their own door. You cannot pour gasoline on the country for 10 years and then act shocked when there's smoke. You can't call a man Hitler every single day and then pretend that an unstable person might hear that as permission. You cannot build a permission structure for political violence and then hide behind civility when the consequences actually arrive. We need answers on the security failure, but we also need honesty about the moral failure that's facing our country, because America cannot survive a political culture where one side gets blamed for rhetoric and the other side gets excused for creating the conditions where violence starts to feel righteous.
Yep. Stossel here talking about taxpayer dollars, millions, to settle discrimination lawsuits. They're made up bullcrap ones, but it's to get money into the leftist hands. That's what it's for. You know, like the state will deliberately allow it to happen so that they can take more money out of the government to pay to these leftists.
Racial discrimination lawsuit for $2.5 million.
Apparently, discrimination is still so rampant in America that companies and taxpayers pay millions to compensate victims.
Maryland State Police hoping to settle a U.S. Justice Department investigation into its alleged racial discrimination by paying almost $3 million.
This is ridiculous. Taxpayers should not be on the hook for this.
Heather McDonald, author of When Race Trumps Merit, says America isn't so racist, but companies and taxpayers pay anyway because of a legal doctrine called disparate impact.
You say disparate impact is...
And they use that, and people in power allow this to go through so that they can get money into these leftist organizations.
Destroying our civilization. Most people don't even know what it is.
It is their greatest weapon against excellence, and it is an abuse of the spirit of our civil rights laws.
Disparate impact rules say any policy or test in which some races or sexes do better than others is illegal discrimination, even if the policy itself has nothing to do with race. For example,
the Maryland State Police wanted to make sure that the state troopers could read at a very basic level. It was a colorblind, neutral test of skills.
But because black applicants got lower scores, the test was ruled racist. The state was also found guilty of sexism because women got lower scores on its physical fitness test.
Hiring tests that unfairly and unlawfully excluded them from employment.
Maryland agreed.
Exactly that point right there. It should be on merit only hiring.
Agreed to pay millions and to change its standards because the test had a disparate impact.
So disparate impact means that an institution can be completely colorblind. It can want to have as many different races as possible. But if it has a standard that blacks do poorly on, you got to throw out the standard.
New York taxpayers also paid when a lawsuit claimed the test for teachers was racist.
Even though you've spent decades throwing out every question on this exam that has too wide a racial divergence, you still didn't have the same proportion of black applicants passing as white applicants. We're going to throw out the exam. And you, New York taxpayers, are liable for $2 billion.
The only reason they're behind is because of the legacy of slavery. White people like us, we have capital, human capital and actual capital. No wonder blacks are behind.
It is understandable that we have a guilty conscience when it comes to all issues related to race because of our centuries-long betrayal of our founding
white guilt again
ideals.
So that's all they're saying. Remember that.
No, they're saying much more than that. That's right. We should remember it, and we do remember it, and we have way overcorrected. You can have meritocracy in an institution, or you can have diversity. You cannot have both.
We have an executive order on disparate impact theory.
Now President Trump has ended federal disparate impact rules, and his Justice Department has dropped disparate impact cases.
Problem is, too many blue states have it, and even some red.
Bringing meritocracy, the American way, back.
DEI at HUD is dead. It's gone.
Trump also told colleges, get rid of DEI programs and end affirmative action,
telling them to change course when it comes to things like deciding college admissions based on gender and race.
But colleges are already evading Trump's demands.
Some of them did kind of dismantle the DEI offices, but a lot of the other ones just...
Well, the other thing is they're relabeling it, giving it different titles.
Just renamed them.
We had to change the names of some of our programs and stuff. Like, we have queer brunch. We can't call it queer brunch anymore. Yeah, you got to call it cozy brunch.
Diversity and equity becomes belonging and community.
We're doing the same stuff, but like changing the names a little bit.
It is an act of narcissism and ego.
Just another way of lying.
On the part of these college administrators who only care about the photos that show up on their college website and making sure that they're suitably diverse. None of your viewers should give any benefit of the doubt.
Well, I guess being an anchor got his foot in the door that way, Gregory.
To these bureaucrats. There's no knowledge required to be a diversity bureaucrat. The only thing that's necessary is you're willing to prosecute the race hustle at the highest levels of the administration.
Actually, Stossel used to be against the whole environment thing, the global warming crap. He was for those people. And then once he finally started learning about it, he's seen that they were fleecing us, that the job was to tax us more.
That does real harm, she says.
You already have medical schools that have simply waived the medical college admissions tests for black students because they do so poorly on them, and are bringing blacks into medical schools with qualifications.
So you just waive the scores, and so you automatically get in?
That would be automatically disqualifying.
This is medical schools. That's people that are working on you in the hospital.
If presented by whites or Asians.
Stop using different rules, says McDonald. Institutions should have one standard for excellence.
Ban discrimination, but we do not ban excellence. We do not ban high expectations.
She's spot on there.
We want all people to reach the same level of competence, and that is how we're going to move forward.
Amen on that. All right, this is about Colin's house. Colin Allen there. They've got. This is when the FBI and all that went to his house.
We got SWAT. We got FBI.
The attempted assassination. Hey, man. Yeah, I medical license. They hand them out like candy. So like the driver's license, right, Gregory? With the driver's license, it's about that bad. Where was I going to go next? I was going to go to something else before I got to more on this. Oh, here. This is well, I'll play it and then talk about it and see.
I need you to come out here with us. I
can't. An illegal came and killed her, and now they're coming to her house and arresting her, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Baby. I understand. We need to talk to you and find out what was going on.
Take a look. A Texas grand jury indicted Rafael Gouveia Romero. He's accused of attacking 16-year-old Lisbeth Medina by repeatedly hitting her head and stabbing her. Medina's mother found her dead in their bathtub after she didn't show up for a parade that her cheerleading team took part in.
It's been hard. Hugo Hernandez Mendez, an illegal alien from Guatemala, was just denied bail, charged with first-degree murder after killing a 19-year-old woman in Maryland. He crushed her skull, then he threw her body off a bridge. These are the people that should not be here in this country. These are the people that the Trump administration are targeting.
I made a baby girl. I am fighting for you every day and thinking about you. We are doing it, and we will continue fighting for you.
A 20-year-old little girl with autism, or young woman, I should say, Kayla Hamilton, was raped and strangled to death in Aberdeen, Maryland. Months later, Maryland police have a suspect, a 17-year-old illegal immigrant from El Salvador, in custody, an MS-13 gang member.
Look at the people that are here. They care about you.
There's some alternate science.
She'll never be a teenager, so she'll forever be 12.
We begin with two men. We're learning are charged with capital murder tonight, accused of killing a 12-year-old girl.
Police say these men strangled her before dumping her into that creek. Both men were in the country illegally.
The men accused of killing Jocelyn Nungare are affiliated with the gang, known for brutal violence.
My daughter's hands and ankles were both bound. She was strangled to death, left with no pants. She was only 12.
Okay, let's step over here. Come on, let's go. I don't want to tell you yes or no because I don't have names. I don't know who anybody is. This is pretty sensitive.
And yet there's judges letting them out so ICE doesn't catch them.
It is so obvious to me why it feels so dark right now, and that is because we lost one of the brightest lights that there's ever been.
I keep waiting for her to walk through the door, but I know she's not gonna walk through the door.
Police say her 30-year-old daughter's body was found in a wooded area near East Raymond Street and South Sherman Drive. Court documents say her Uber driver, 29-year-old Francisco Valadez, picked Dixon up. According to court documents, Valadez attempted to have sex with her in the backseat of his car, but there was a fight. Valadez told police he shot her.
This person took my daughter so violently and so gruesomely and so graphically that they sealed the pictures because I don't want my granddaughters to see these pictures.
Rachel Morin was a mother of 5 living in Maryland. Last August, she was going for a run on a safe,
5 kids left without a mother.
Quiet trail when she disappeared. Her body was found on the trail the very next day. Now we're finding out Rachel was raped and murdered by one of Biden's migrants.
This loss is truly unbearable. There really are no big words enough for it. But standing here, surrounded by this
That's what open borders get you.
community that she loves so fiercely, I realized something.
Oh, and plus all our tax dollars we're handing out.
Her last gift to us is you.
charged with first-degree murder, aggravated assault, and aggravated unlawful possession of a weapon. Gorman was a few months away from finishing her freshman year at Loyola University Chicago. She was from New York, and her family says she lived each day with intention, faith, and kindness.
Her smile, her positivity. Always. We'll get through it no matter what. We'll get through it no matter what.
Fairfax County Police found Stephanie Minter with several stab wounds to her upper body. Surveillance video and interviews helped detectives identify the suspect as 32-year-old Abdul Jalal.
Kind of on this subject, this is what they're doing to Christians in Nigeria. They're burning them alive. But actually, they kind of knock them out, and you won't actually see that part that you're talking about, but they'll show them lighting them though, and they're cheering. And they're cheering this. They're all coming out to watch them burn Christians. You think they'd have a fuel shortage, but they got to use it to light them. Any word on Wimkin coming back on the live streaming there? Any word on that? Any news? They're going to burn them with that tire. It will cut off before they get to that point. Don't worry. They've already beat the crap out of these two. Just like other Muslim countries, they start stoning them. August, okay. I hope the live stream comes back better than ever. Although I do like being able to see the comments on the screen here, and I can share it to the other platforms from here when it's on Rumble. See, they're stoning them before they light them. You think they were out of the 1100s or something like that? Yeah, I didn't take there was a longer version of this where they actually do light them on fire and burn them up. It's pretty ridiculous. I don't know. Why don't I go on to Tusi? Tusi did a good show on this, about a 30-minute one. I'll play about 30 minutes of it, about the whole thing that happened at the White House, or not White House, at the dinner last night.
We have the latest updates from the shooting that happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I do blame everything on the time zone difference, because why would you plan this at 2 a.m. London time when I somehow fell asleep? I missed the whole thing. But it's fine. It's absolutely fine, because we actually have more information now about what happened last night. We're going to give you guys the details about the suspect. Obviously, didn't go too well for the shooter. And President Trump is safe. The members of the cabinet are safe. Everybody's fine. And this was yet another massive fail by a shooter who has he/him in his LinkedIn bio. So we're going to talk about all this. We also have a live feed from Washington, D.C., the Hilton Hotel, where, of course, the dinner was taking place. Having said that, a couple of things to discuss first, including the moment of the attack. We got all the videos for you guys from different angles, but also some information about the suspect. We're going to get your reaction in the live chat as usual. Let's go through the moment of the attempted attack. You can see President Trump right there. President Trump was like, what's going on? Yeah, so apparently President Trump didn't realize what was actually happening. Yeah, he thought somebody dropped something, but they took everybody away. There is a different, closer angle that shows obviously the security coming to take Vice President J.D. Vance, while the others went towards President Trump afterwards. Watch this. We have a retard in the live chat. Who would like to be introduced to a retard in the live chat? Ladies and gentlemen, there is an account called @CMD Prac, whatever, Alexia, saying, it's not your live feed, stupid. This is in fact our live feed. We literally pay a monthly contract. We pay a lot of money. Well, it's not a lot of money, so it's a few $1,000s we pay to ensure that we have access to the live feeds that we have from Washington, D.C. It's not like we're taking it from some news channel. This is the actual, otherwise you would see the logo. This is, in fact, our live feed. We have the license. We literally, do you have license for that, bro? Yes, I do. Anyway, retard away. Let's quickly go to the suspect. The suspect, we have to be politically correct. The shooter. Or actually, the failed shooter. Let's talk about this guy. There is a video of him rushing towards the Secret Service and security. I'm going to explain exactly what happened in that moment. Because in the hotel, there were massive problems with security because part of the hotel, of course, the ballroom was hired. There were guests that were staying in the hotel. Now, they had two options. Number one, you could either just close down the whole hotel. That's one option. Secondly, if you're not going to do that, then you can't just have a metal detector outside the ballroom, like the main entrance. You need to have at least the corridors away and other rooms and other entrances way before you get close to it. You must have metal detectors and security. But there were people standing around, but that was it. So this is the moment. You can see from the top left, at the end of that corridor, he's going to start running. There we go. He's running. Shot this guy, one of the security guys. He was wearing a bulletproof vest, fortunately, so he's fine. He did run fast, so well done. He should run a marathon, actually. Although I don't think he's going to do that for a while. But he
I have an AI version I'll show later.
Was armed with a shotgun and a handgun and multiple knives. And then, but he wasn't really hit by any of the gunfire by the security. One of the officers, as I said,
that guy was going on a suicide mission. Really, he was probably expecting to be shot dead.
It was shot, but he is absolutely fine. So technically,
kind of like the cult of Islam, that they're willing to die as long as they can kill you.
Speaking, obviously, the security managed to capture him a lot.
In fact, they see themselves as heroes by doing that.
But both sides failed to shoot properly. So security failed to shoot him to basically eliminate the threat. But this guy who had He had multiple weapons, knives, and he still failed. Like, the level of amateurism. Anyway, let's talk about the shooter himself. 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen from California. He did say before the attack that he actually apparently told the law enforcement after his arrest that he was going to target.
Teacher of the month, huh? Boy, you want this guy teaching your kids the hate that he's got?
The officials and President Trump, basically anybody in the government that he could get close to, including the president. He worked as a teacher. He was actually the teacher of the month in Los Angeles, in the county. So this is the caliber, the quality of the teachers we're getting now these days. Everything's absolutely fine, guys, in California. And there were a number of fake images and AI images about him on social media, which have been obviously easily debunked. This is the problem. When you get your news from social media without actual research, there's a lot of fake news out there. But what we do know is that on his LinkedIn account, this is the fascinating thing, who would have thought? I couldn't have.
They totally took down his Blue Sky one. He was saying a lot of awful stuff there. Really hating on Christians. He wants us dead.
Guess this? Well, in his LinkedIn account, he has he/him as his pronouns. So in case you couldn't tell if this guy with facial hair and everything else was a man, he clarified, guys. He clarified. He went to Caltech and he still has to reassure you that he is a man. But the suspect emerged from a makeshift room near the entrance in the corridor. There was no security near where that was actually stored. He was in that room. He grabbed it. He grabbed the weapons out of a bag, and the weapon, the shotgun he had was obviously long, and apparently it was modified. But we will get.
And he got there by train from California through Chicago down to D.C. They had a stopover, so he had to carry the guns somehow. I guess he had to assemble it.
Confirmation from the FBI as they continued their investigation, and he was actually a guest in that hotel. So he booked it in advance because there were people who were staying there. This is again the problem with the way they decided to do this, because you could do two scenarios. One is you can just hire the ballroom, but if you're gonna do that, then you have to have extra metal detectors away from the main entrance to the ballroom. Or you could just hire the whole hotel. That would have been, common sense, because it's not really just about President Trump. The vice president is there. The rest of the cabinet are there. Essentially, if you take out that building, everybody will die and the whole government will collapse. Most of it. But the senior figures, at least. But they didn't really think about that, which is weird, considering it's 2026. Let's quickly go to the moment he was detained by the U.S. Secret Service agents. And then we got more updates. So that's on the floor there.
Silver foil. Or, got it? No. Scooch over to right, silver foil, top of the stairs.
Was I on mute earlier?
Got it.
Why was I on mute?
It wasn't.
Who said I'm on mute? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, they're ignore the weirdos. You got problems with your devices. It's not my fault. You clicked on mute yourself. Anyway, so that's the moment. And then there was the moment of, actually, let's quickly go back, because we have the Secret Service agents reacting to the shots immediately afterwards.
Where's it coming from? Crossfire! Look out! Watch out! Move, move, everybody stay down, stay down!
Now, one of the biggest problems that we now have in the Western society is that there's absolutely no empathy. Absolutely not. Everything is so tribal. Everybody is so tribal that they don't really care about humanity at this point. So the left right now would just attack anybody on the right that could become a victim or was a victim, for example. So we have a footage of Erica Kirk, who only a few months ago went through a similar situation with her husband, Charlie, and she was seen obviously traumatized, crying. Watch this.
I just want to go home.
She says, I just want to go home. And then on social media, the political left were going absolutely insane, saying, oh, why is she crying? Wow, why is she doing this? Like, why do you think, with everything that's going on, it's not really just about what happened to Charlie. It's also not just about what's happened last night. It's also about the fact that Erica continues to get death threats. And she has extra security now. But apparently, well, she's not allowed to feel fear. Well, no. It's funny because people on the right, including people like Erica Kirk, if they show strength, they get attacked. If they show weakness and cry, they get attacked. It's a fascinating situation that we're currently dealing with. So obviously, the political left and the anti-establishment side, they do a few routines, and they're all basically NPCs. They don't think for themselves. Everybody's a sheep, so they just repeat the same thing. So a couple of scenarios always gets repeated. Number one, this is staged. It's fake, right? And there's no original thought. Everybody's repeating each other. And then they say, it was like an inside job. And then they say, oh, it was actually a white Christian, for example. Oh, and then they say that there are various, and obviously Jews will get involved at some point. The Jews were behind it. Everybody just basically repeat the same thing because they're NPCs. They're not real. Well, they're all real people, but their brains are not real because they can't think for themselves. Nobody's original. And they get that information out of context from social media. Some random person spreads fake news, like the fake AI images, and then they all repeat it thinking that, oh, I just thought for myself. I miss the days of the original, authentic conspiracy theorists. I think, oh, I'm going to do my own research to find out about moon landing, for example, right? Or whatever. Or the JFK assassination. People used to do their own homework. That was the good times. Now, nobody's original. It's just everybody's repeating the same thing on social media. Anyway, going back to Cole Allen, he had also previously donated to the U.S. Democrats, the earmarked, obviously, for Kamala Harris for president on the 13th of October, 2024. And, but again, that doesn't really, it doesn't really change anything because, considering that he already had, he/him pronouns in his bio, I can assure you he was not far right, let's just say. So it was quite clear that he would be slightly politically different to President Trump. He was not a fan of the Trump administration. Let's quickly go back to the footage. We have panic inside the Hilton ballroom as the attack occurred. Failed attack, of course.
Gunshots fired at the White House Correspondents' Center.
Moment, which I'll go to in a second. We got another one. Mary looked a bit fake. Well, Mary is an expert, of course. looked a bit fake. But based on my experience in conflicts and assassination attempts, I've done my own research. I definitely did not go on social media and repeat like a parrot everything else than everybody in the echo chamber was saying. But there was an insane moment with Dana White. So Dana White, who has a similar personality than me, he basically doesn't give an F. Afterwards, he described the shooting as effing awesome. And he said it was a unique experience. Let's go to Dana White. And then we have a footage of him during the moment of the attack. This is afterwards first.
It started getting noisy. Tables getting flipped over, guys running in with guns, and they were screaming, "Get down!" I didn't get down. It was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it in, and it was a pretty crazy, unique experience.
So you were on the aisle. What exactly did you see?
We were sitting right in front of the table.
Okay.
Right in front of where the president was.
Yes. And what exactly happened? So someone got tackled, or like what?
Nobody got tackled, but guys came in looking for shooters. They came toward our table. I thought the shooter was over by us or something. But yeah.
So you didn't see the actual attack yourself. Okay.
It was effing awesome. Unique experience. Everybody went down. I didn't go down. I wanted to experience the whole thing, guys. It's not a roller coaster. Oh, he's just saying it. You know, he was definitely panicking. In reality, he's just lying. He was probably hiding under the table. Well, we now have the footage of Dana White during the attack. You can see the smile on his face. Like a 12-year-old boy. It's so good. And you got, of course, Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth is furious.
Let's push out back there.
Look at him. He's sitting like a security.
Sam, you're okay.
It's just this moment. His face. Wait, this bit. It's like very excited 12-year-old boy. It's like, ooh, this is fun. It's absolute chaos. Look at his face. But then you had more happening. There's this man. Actually, Dana is not even my hero of the night. My hero of the night is this man who literally in that moment, everybody's panicking, running away. He's sitting down, calmly eating his dinner and just observing the chaos. Look at him. Wait. He's just going to go back to his plate. It's so good. It's just like, yeah, I'm just going to continue. Then we had Bev Turner, a good friend, journalist who is in Washington. Afterwards, she actually interviewed this man. She talked to this guy, and he said, well, he's getting older now. So he said, I just couldn't be bothered. And I've got a bad back. So I just decided to continue sitting down and finish my dinner. He had a bad back, poor guy. It's like, I'm not going down. If I go down, I can't get up anymore. It's not worth it. Let's just finish the dinner. Brilliant. Not all heroes wear a cape. Some heroes just sit down and finish their dinner. Anyway, let's go to the moment the Secret Service agents were trying to chase the shooter, who, again, Cole Allen, very fast. He can run, that guy. For a teacher, for a nerd, oh, he can run. And then they chased him and they tried to basically stop him.
Left, down the center. Wait. Where's it coming from? Where's it coming from? Up the crossbar! Look out!
Bro, somebody go. We got one down.
One down. There was only one for him.
What the
Breathe.
Oh my God. Stay down, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, stay down.
I love how there's still people standing out filming instead of going down.
Where's that at? Inside. You're not inside.
Yeah, they got him. Yeah, anyway. Then we had this statement coming to us from the director of the U.S. Secret Service saying, tonight we saw exactly what our brave men and women do each and every day to protect our protectees. It's not easy, and I will tell you that they performed admirably. We got to see what they do, and that individual, when he charged a checkpoint, was apprehended, well, technically a little bit after that, but yeah. It shows that our multi-layered protection works, and I'm grateful to our partners that help assist us with building these sites and protecting these sites. So yes, they got lucky that the idiot was not professional enough to actually do any harm. But the multi-layer security that the Secret Service are talking about, I can assure you that could have been done even better so that he can't get close to the actual corridor right outside the ballroom. It shouldn't even get that, because again, these idiots, they might just carry a weapon, but you can get some more professional ones, well, professional weirdos who could actually do suicide bombings or have some sort of explosive device and just throw it into the room, get past the metal detectors, for example. Anyway, we had a number of world leaders also reacting to this. We had Prime Minister of India, Modi, saying, relieved to learn that President Trump, the First Lady and Vice President are safe and unharmed following the recent security incident at the Washington, D.C. hotel. I extend my best wishes for their continued safety and well-being. Violence has no place in a democracy and must be unequivocally condemned. We also had this from the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, saying, Sarah and I were shocked by the attempted assassination of President Trump last night in Washington, D.C. We are relieved that the President and the First Lady are safe and strong. We send our wishes for a full and speedy recovery to the wounded police officer and salute the U.S. Secret Service for their swift and decisive action. We also did have, I just saw this, eventually, Keir Starmer, with a bit of delay, did react to this a couple of hours ago, saying, I am shocked. Keir Starmer's statements literally always start with, I am shocked. Every time there's something this sort of attacks, he's always shocked. You need to stop being shocked. It says, I am shocked by the scenes at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington overnight. Any attack on democratic institutions or on the freedom of the press must be condemned in the strongest possible terms. It's a huge relief that POTUS, the First Lady, and others attending are fine. And of course, we had similar statements from everybody else. Emmanuel Macron didn't really try too much. He just basically said two sentences, saying the armed attack targeting the President of the United States last night is unacceptable. Violence has no place in a democracy. So Macron was too busy to actually write a proper statement. He's too busy getting beaten up. Anyway, let's quickly go. I think we have another footage of the law enforcement. They have now, over the last few hours, they have arrived at the home of the shooter in Torrance, California. This is the footage we have, and then we're going to go live to DC. So that's the home of the shooter. Continuing the investigation.
That's your fabulous baby. Crowd control.
That's the early hours of this morning.
Took you guys long enough.
PC says, let them do their job. God bless Trump, says PC. Maya, they must lock up the culprit for 100 years. Scary 1968. RFK Sr. was targeted in a hotel. It was a same hotel that I think Reagan was also, there was a plot against him. I think that was also Hilton. Let's quickly go to, I think, another scene, the immediate aftermath of the shooting. Failed shooting. Yeah, that's the moment Dana White was loving life.
Katie, do you have all your stuff? I'm fine.
Got RFK Jr. over there.
Stand by. Yes, sir. Go to your right. Go to your right.
That's Miller. Right, and then you got Pete.
Push out back there.
Yeah, there's always a couple that start chanting USA. Okay, so we're going to quickly go to the live feed from the Hilton in Washington, D.C. And God bless President Trump and God bless America. President Trump, best president ever. The press corps organized a forceful opposition to Trump at the dinner. They even had their special pocket hankies made. Once again, their gaslighting fell on a crazy person who took it seriously. And Jason says, a name released within hours, unlike our law enforcement and government. I wonder why. And according to the loony lefties, it was staged to Yano. And the good thing about this Trump administration is that the federal level is extremely transparent. You actually got President Trump himself directly, straight afterwards, with Kash Patel and everybody else doing a press conference and giving the latest information directly to the people. Whereas in Europe and in the UK, you don't really get that. There's just always a vacuum that's created by the authorities and the media. No one knew if he was wearing a suicide vest. He will now cost the US taxpayers millions to incarcerate. Yeah, that's the problem again. It's a lose-lose, really. So not muted here. It keeps going mute. So not muted or mute. Okay. I get blasted on social media just because I don't hate who they hate. Sick. Don Lemon said the Trump regime, it's not a regime, it's an elected government. Don Lemon. The Trump regime is trying to take away press freedom. They don't believe in press freedom. Trump's trying to kill the First Amendment. Who literally tries to kill him? No. Yeah, I don't think they understand the powers of the president and the Constitution. People like Don Lemon, they are so weird. We were told after the 2024 election, we were told on the first day we're going to have a dictatorship and Trump's going to be a dictator. I'm still waiting for that. Come on, Trump. What happened to being a dictator? from Mr. Trick. I could have said, at least you have something to report that's not fake. Not too bad. Check out the woman picking up wine bottles. I saw that when leaving. Must be Aussie. It was funny. There were all these people like with the moral high ground having a meltdown saying, oh, all these journalists, because I hate the journalists. These journalists, they're stealing the bottles of wine and champagne. Everybody does that. Those bottles were going to be finished within half an hour anyway. Let her take the bottle. It's already been paid for. Let her take the bottle. Yeah, they're probably Australia. Matt's Morse TV live streaming. You'll see classic Trump, not worried about anything. Or you could watch 2C TV, guys. So many guns and attacker still alive. Odd? No. Vance was the second sooner simply because of positioning. Yeah, a lot of people were saying, well, why is the president being taken after him? It was literally about who was there, who acted first on a human level, and where they were based. That's why you also, while J.D. Vance was being taken, President Trump was being blocked anyway by the rest of the Secret Service. You also had the National Guard on alert, which they joined afterwards. Trump was surrounded within seconds and moved basically simultaneously. Simple. Yeah. Ignore the weirdos who try to become self-appointed experts on everything. Oh, I just analyzed that footage. Reagan was shot leaving the Hilton. Yes, it was 1981. Same place. Yeah, there were attempts on Reagan as well. And fortunately, he survived as well. Let me just double check. I think we might. Yeah, we're gonna wait for the latest statement as well later on for you guys to see what will come out, what more will come out. But of course, on 2C TV, we'll keep you guys posted. There is also a situation between the US and the Islamic Republic. Both sides are basically saying we're not talking. It's basically the same thing that you've had over the last couple of days, but it's actually a more direct, we're not talking. This is the end. Again, the Islamic Republic is saying this while begging for talks, but there are different factions. So we're going to come back shortly and talk about that situation because there are a lot of, again, speculations that tonight, Sunday, we might have the conflict resumed, but it might or it might not because the Americans are not really in a rush. The blockade of Hormuz is doing the job, and they're paralyzing the system in Iran, and there's a lot more to do. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, from all the people I'm talking to there, it is having a bigger effect than they thought because they're starting to lose all their hired help that's trying to keep them in line there in Iran. So the people are starting to kill more of them, of the leaders, the lower level leaders, and a lot of the inspection guards and all that kind of stuff. It's getting bad for them there. So, and they're not going to be able to ship out the oil. They got to turn off their oil pumps, and they won't be able to turn them back on for quite a while. So it's bad. But I want the regime gone, and then the people can vote on. They're going to set up their own governments, vote on it, this and that. You get rid of 90% of the funding, approximately 90% of the funding of all these terrorist groups around the world. Then they can just go back to being America first after that. So,
because yet again, somebody has attempted to take the life of US President Donald Trump, this time at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Now, the armed man, believed to be a teacher from Torrance in California and a Democrat supporter, had been staying in the hotel and had somehow managed to smuggle a cache of weapons in with him when he then took it upon himself to storm the dinner, firing bullets. Thankfully, there have been no casualties. And yet this is the third time that someone's attempted to take President Trump's life. In fact, if you were to look at a comparison between assassination attempts and successful assassinations of US presidents and compare those lodged against Republicans and those leveled against the Democrats, you would find a distinct pattern. We're told, aren't we, that the right wing are dangerous, that we're far right, that we are warmongers, that we are filled with hate, that we're divisive, that we need to calm down our rhetoric, that we somehow pose an existential threat to society. And yet,
yeah, so like the Ukraine war, that's a money laundering operation there, and that was covering up for Hunter Biden and Fauci.
the evidence just doesn't really bear that out, does it? Because yet again, bullets flying through the air at an American event aimed towards somebody on the right wing. Present at that dinner, Erica Kirk, the widow of the assassinated Charlie Kirk. Extremely traumatizing event for her. And so what do we do about this? Because it seems to me, if you are on the right wing and you so much as suggest that immigration should be a bit better controlled, you are treated as if you're abhorrent, you are ostracized, you're demonized. On the left, however, you can be as radical as you like. You can use terms such as stamp on the necks of the fascists, rid our streets of Nazis.
Yeah.
And we've been through this debate time and again, have we not? Where we turn around and say, everyone's got to cool down the rhetoric. We've all got to mind our words. No, it's not we all. Because from where I'm sitting, there's only one side of politics that is posing the imminent threat to life. Indeed, on a regular basis, seems to be attacking police officers or shouting terrorist slogans in the street or calling for somebody to be stopped at any cost, using terms such as scum, fascist, Nazi. What are we going to do about this lunatic left wing that seems to have gripped America and indeed gripped the United Kingdom? Does it surprise me that this man responsible for the attempted assassination was a teacher? Well, perhaps in America, much like in the United Kingdom, many of the teachers' unions are gripped by radical communism. Does it surprise me he comes from California? Indeed, an entire state at times that looks as though it's gripped by radical communism. America, and indeed Britain by its side, spent much of the last century fighting radical communism, both at home and abroad. We considered those who spread its messages and those who pushed its agenda to be so troubling and so dangerous that we went through decades developing weapons technologies, intense levels of spying and agency work and intelligence in order to root out those who might share the sentiments of failed communist dictatorships. Fast forward the clock to 2026, and it seems to me, rather than fighting communism, we seem to have it sitting on the green benches of the House of Commons. We have it teaching in schools. We have it infesting our unions. We have it being pushed on social media websites, completely unrestrained, in full belief that they are the ones with superior moral virtue, however twisted, however sick, as Donald Trump might say, these people are. They're enabled. They're celebrated. They're cheered on. We need to get real. Because what we're seeing taking place in the United States of America could happen here, especially if we also find ourselves having a change of government. This scourge of left-wing pestilence, the lunacy, the name-calling, the violent rhetoric, the protests, the lies, the fake news, the violence. It's time we addressed it. It's got to stop. It's got to stop today.
I agree with her. But that ended a little more abruptly than I thought it would. Let's go with, all right. This one I played for the opening of the thing, but it isn't on this.
Don't y'all see that God is protecting the president? Does anybody else see that God is the one protecting the president? Every attempt, they can't get to him. They clipped his ear. When he was in the golf course, that crazy dude, they found him first. This guy popped off at the correspondent dinner. He did it in the lobby. But they can't get to him. And I want to put this warning out here for everybody who's trying. You're going to fail. He is God's anointed. He is God's messenger. Do y'all not notice he's telling people to put the Bible back in their homes, pray, The White House read the entire Bible for 7 days. It's getting ready to get worse, y'all. I'm telling y'all, Satan is out here and he's getting ready. They're trying to destroy our country, and God gave us a strong person, a lion to stop this. Pray for our president. Pray for the ones who are with the GOP who are trying to do the right thing. Pray for them. Pray for them. Pray for their strength. Because there's a lot of rhinos in there that have hooked up with these Democrats to take our country down. No. They can go on to the lake of fire with Satan. Pray for the ones who are trying to save our country. Anyway, y'all, I'm in major prayer right now. Get ready to cover my head and go back to prayer for our president. God is here.
Yeah. I'm seeing more black people that are with the Christianity that are going from the left to the right, more so, definitely.
New details are coming out about the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooter, and they don't make this any less disturbing. This is Cole Allen. He's 31 years old, and he's a teacher. Yeah, he was actually honored as a Teacher of the Month in December of 2024. You know, someone who works with students. Yeah, this forces a bigger conversation people don't want to have. Because this is not just one person. This is how far culture has shifted. We're seeing everyday people, teachers, nurses, doctors, people with careers expressing political hatred every day online. Not just disagreement, hatred. And when that kind of mindset gets normalized every day, we shouldn't be shocked when we see stuff like this happening. That doesn't mean every one of those professional fields think that way, but we're starting to see it happen a lot more often. And meanwhile, if you raise concerns about what kids are being exposed to in a classroom, no, you're cold crazy. But look what's happening. This level of political hostility, the normalization of extreme rhetoric, is not normal. At the end of the day, no matter where you stand politically, violence is never the answer. So again, when is enough enough?
I agree with her on that.
So I get off the phone with my mom. I was on the phone with my mom for over an hour tonight. We're talking about a lot of things. And get off the phone, I check X, and I see another assassination attempt on Trump's life. You know what happens when you expose the corruption in D.C.? SPLC, George Soros, the Democrat Party, they don't like that. They're going to come after you, and they're going to try to kill you. That's what is happening. When will people stand up and realize and understand that the Democrat Party are not good people? I'm sure there's a few good people on that side. I don't know where they are, but I'm sure there are, hopefully. The funny thing is I used to vote Democrat. But once I woke up and I started reading the writing on the wall and seeing what they're capable of, they're evil. I don't know how many times it's going to take. What's it going to take for you guys to understand that? And once they are successful at killing Trump, the left will cheer from the mountaintops, from the rooftops. They'll have parades. Does that sound like a normal political party that you want to be involved with? It sure the fuck doesn't for me. I'm sick and fucking tired of it. It's time to label the Democrat Party as domestic terrorists, because that's exactly what they are. Have a great night and God bless. Thank God President Trump is okay.
Yeah. I don't think they got that close, to be honest.
The administration, and the guy is a sick guy. When you read his manifesto, he hates Christians. That's one thing for sure. He hates Christians, a hatred. And I think his sister or his brother actually was complaining about it. You know, they were even complaining to law enforcement. So he was a very troubled guy.
I was taken by your...
Yep. Here's more about the Southern Law Poverty Center. These ones marching with the flags and this, they were feds. I ran into them down in D.C. one time, and they were, they were very, Antifa wouldn't bother them. They knew the whole thing was up, that they were feds.
Turns out, like everything you thought was...
See these ones with a flag? That's the government. It was a psyop. It totally was. All these dressed identical, this and that. Antifa wouldn't fight them. They'd attack us. They wouldn't attack them. You'd think they'd be the first ones they would attack. And these are all feds. They absolutely were. In fact, he tried to get him to admit there were feds in this, and tried to demask him in that. And they didn't want any part of that. Some people actually followed him back to their vehicles in this. Turns out they're using rented vehicles that were rented by the government.
Actual right-wing extremism or white supremacy in our country was actually probably a psyop funded by the Southern Poverty Law Center. This is like one of the biggest stories I can remember in modern political history. And of course, it will get virtually no mainstream media coverage whatsoever. But yesterday, the director of the FBI, Kash Patel, and the acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, gave a press conference in which they announced an indictment against the Southern Poverty Law Center, an anti-hate group, kind of like the ACLU, secretly funneled millions of dollars from their donors to fight hate, to instead pay off white supremacists and hate groups. If these allegations are true, and I cannot wait for the investigation on this, the SPLC would actually be the largest financial contributor to American neo-Nazis and the KKK. According to law enforcement, the SPLC paid $300,000.
I'm not in the group that does the hacking anymore, Marianne. I'm not in it. I talked to them. So
plus dollars to an affiliate of the Aryan Nations, paid one member of the now infamous Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville nearly $300,000.
When we turn someone into the Trump people, Marianne, he almost got killed. I got killed by Antifa. Yeah, almost. It didn't kill me that night. It caused a bruised heart, which caused me dysarrhythmia. I was having a hard time working more than 3 or 4 hours a day because my heart would start beating fast, and then the other side would beat fast, and then it was causing blood clots to go to my brain. Anyways, and I let it go too long too. I tried to wait until the morning to go to the hospital, and when it started happening at 2:30 in the morning, I waited too long. Antifa's, they're Trantifa, really. A lot of them are trans, by the way. Anyways, they're dudes in female clothing, all in black though, you know. But they're bad. Those ones with the flags though, those we kept yelling them feds, that they were feds, and we were following them, they were trying to paint us as right-wing extremists. They were nutcakes.
Paid $73,000 plus to members of the KKK and other extremist and white supremacist groups, all while claiming to fight against white supremacy and hatred. Again, I remind you, on the front page of this organization's website, they claim they stand as a beacon of hope fighting white supremacy and various forms of injustice to help create a multiracial democracy where we can all live and thrive. So why then artificially inflate?
I was only down there with a group of patriots, and I was the only white person with this group of patriots, a big group, that was there, and we were there for the 4th of July. We all wanted to meet there, some from California, Texas, Georgia was there, everything. I think I was the only New Yorker there, as a matter of fact. But a lot from California were there. And, and North Carolina, there was some from there. And they were mostly black and Hispanic and that. And then when the lights went down for the fireworks near the Washington Monument, first Black Lives Matter came in. They were causing a ruckus. They were yelling and getting people's faces, but they weren't harming anyone. It was Antifa that had the PVC pipe, you know, the pipe for draining plumbing. You know, it's about 1.5 inches big, and they had it in like 4-foot lengths, and they were jabbing people in the face and hitting people over the head. They were jabbing me in the chest is what they did. And it caused me to have a bruised heart.
Racism.
And it was Proud Boys that came in and pushed them back. If they hadn't come, I probably would have died then.
By manufacturing additional racism, by lining the pockets of the KKK. I think that this is probably just the very surface. This organization has an annual operating budget of close to $150 million to allegedly fight evil while actually just directly paying for it, I guess. And they have made it their mission to specifically target who they label right-wing extremists like Charlie Kirk. They actually put this headline out in 2024, Turning Point USA, a case study of the hard right, all while they were allegedly paying off the actual hard right. So I have more questions. In addition to paying off white supremacists,
rubber
did this
bullets,
organization pay for radical, violent left-wing extremism? Did they contribute to the rise in left-wing violence that ultimately took my friend Charlie's life? What other hateful organizations or hate-filled individuals are personally profiting from donations to the SPLC? And even
Was your daughter protesting with the left?
if it didn't involve money, can we all finally agree it is undeniable that is ironically the rhetoric of these anti-hate organizations that often create the most hate, leading to people being killed for it?
With the left? There, I'll type it in there. Yes, as far as protesting. If it's peaceful protesting, I'm fine with it. It's when they start burning stuff and breaking stuff, to me. Let's go here next.
You cannot compare our president to Hitler daily and call young men that go vote for him Nazi stormtroopers and then feign shock and outrage and send your thoughts and prayers when another attempt is taken on his life. How much is enough? How many assassination attempts are we finally going to say, wow, the temperature might be too hot in the room? Because they're going to say that tonight and then go back to business as usual and normal programming tomorrow. Trump's a tyrant. He's a king. And by the way, he's Hitler Jr. He needs to be taken out of office. Well, some psychopaths in their mom's basement continue to take that from MSNBC and say, I think I could do that. Actually, I think I could do a service to my nation by taking the president out. Oh, and how many attempts is finally going to become clear?
My family's all conservative because they were against slavery. They were part of the stopping the slave trade and getting them over the border into Canada and stuff like that. Thank the Lord.
Everybody, that God keeps sparing Trump's life. That God has his hand on this nation, and President Trump is here for such a time as this. Because Trump should have been killed in that field in Butler. He should have been dead, 2 years ago now? But 3 attempts later, he's still standing strong. A millimeter miracle in that field turned his head ever so slightly that his life was spared. And here we sit after the third assassination attempt, and we're just going to act like this is normal? Guys, if you hear one thing tonight, hear this clearly. This is not normal. This is not the typical America that you were supposed to be handed to grow up in. And you also don't have to accept this silent majority in this country that I see almost daily as I travel to campuses cannot be silent any longer. They're trying to.
I hope you don't lose seeing your grandkids or anything like that.
Kill our president, and you're scared of reposting something to your story. You're scared of speaking up in your class or getting off your couch and doing anything.
I do understand you being skeptical, but I have to have proof to disbelieve something first. Sort of like I didn't believe the Trump chemtrails for a long time, until I got enough proof to believe it, because I couldn't believe they wanted to kill us. It seems like they want to kill us.
But watching the world burn, speak up. Now is the time. They're literally trying to kill us publicly, and we're too scared to do anything about it. If you've never prayed for our nation, this is the time. If you've never prayed for our leaders, this is the time. And if you go to a church tomorrow morning that doesn't pray for our nation's leaders, pick a different church. The silent majority can't be silent any longer, as they're literally trying to kill us.
Marianne, is she religious at all?
42 million people losing their SNAP benefits come November 1st. And then when I look at the numbers...
Yeah, watch the numbers on this. You write them down. It's unbelievable how many of them are illegals on those SNAP benefits.
Of the amount of people and where they're from, I'm going to say this is a much needed process, bruh. Because you're telling me of the 42 million people, only like 30% of that 42 million are actually Americans? And I mean 30% of the 42 million are actually Americans who were born here, who are disabled, who are veterans, who are actually people who live.
Yeah, I had people on here about the chemtrails. Actually, ones that witnessed them loading the stuff in the planes, and they tried to interview the people doing it. And they admitted they were doing it, but they were getting paid to do it. A lot of it's aluminum.
Literally and actually need this assistance. Because if I'm looking at this report that says,
hopefully you got other kids and that they have kids and you're going to have other grandkids.
It's 51%.
I know I'll never have grandkids.
Of the total number.
Not that we didn't want to. My wife's got heart trouble and she only had the one son and he's not going to have any kids.
Of people that are receiving these SNAP benefits are purely because of their religious beliefs. Meaning these people are Muslims or from the Islamic religion, Islamic countries. They're from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Somalia, these places. And they're receiving these benefits purely because, for one, their women aren't allowed to work. Their women aren't allowed to have multiple children. They are 100% supposed to be home to cherish and nurture their children. Their husbands are allowed to have multiple wives, and with those multiple wives having multiple children, meaning they're getting multiple thousands of dollars per month. And if you think about it, it makes total sense why the Americans that are getting...
Marianne, that makes no sense. If she's really religious, she'd be against transing and all that kind of stuff, you'd think. Although Catholics have gone kind of to the left, you know, the top of the thing. My mother wouldn't have been for that, but the whole transing thing and some of the other stuff that the left believes in, abortion.
Getting the pocket change, who are not having kids, and even if they're having kids, they got like 2-3 kids, and then their 2-3 kids are disabled, right? And then they're the ones making all the noise because they're getting pocket change when these people from the Islamic countries are getting thousands and thousands of dollars, and they're in a household with 3 other women that are filing for these
sometimes they file for kids they don't even have
benefits as head of the household. So in the one house there are...
I've seen cases where they loan each other kids to take into the place so they can get the SNAP, and they're using some other kids. They're claiming they have more kids than they have.
4 wives getting like 4 or 5 grand a pop because they have like 4 or 5 kids a pop, right? And their husbands are just going out to these meetings trying to convert more people.
Well, when you die, you kind of find God again.
But at the end of the day,
well, I never lost it. I just wasn't, you know, kind of neutral on it.
Getting like $15,000, $20,000 a month for the one household. And who knows how many bank accounts they have. No wonder when I see these people going out on vacation, they're just so comfortable. And it's like irritating, but at the end of the day, this shit needs to stop.
They're also socking a lot of money away and sending it back overseas.
Because a lot of these people came here, right? They came here seeking better, but then they came here to live the same way and the same rules, live by the same rules that made their country turn into shit in the first place. And it's not just the Islamic people, because there are a lot that are from the Caribbean, who are doing the same shit. And like I said, it is wild to me because they came here to seek better, but their version of better is to come here and lay up under these roofs and make these babies and live off of hardworking taxpayers. The crazy, crazy part is the loud ones are the ones benefiting or getting the least of the benefits that are being handed out. This is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is. I'll second that. Let's go with this one next. I got a whole
The left is saying that Republicans are trying to rig the 28 elections by only allowing American citizens to vote in the election. I'm lost because I thought
they only help stop them from cheating. That's one of the ways of cheating, besides the mail-in balloting, but that's one of the ways there.
In order to vote in a country, to have the right...
Definitely all the purple areas would probably be red, which they used to be the other way around. Blue was red, but they changed it after Reagan won the second time.
To vote, you have to be a citizen of that country. So how are the Republicans rigging the election so that only American citizens can vote in an American election? So you know what this is about. They are upset because the Trump administration has put government IDs in place for anyone who's going to vote. And if you're not an American citizen, you cannot vote. That is a rule. And the administration of Trump, they're enforcing it. And so
I tell you, he's not settling down, huh?
left, they've wanted the illegal migrants to be able to vote because they've given them all the stuff in return for their vote. So now they're saying Republicans are rigging the election for 2028 by only allowing American citizens to vote in an American election. Make that make sense.
I'll finish that in a second here. Where was I going to go next? Okay, right here.
It's just the latest of these many violent events that happen under this president and haven't happened in this way under other presidents. And I think one of the reasons so many people in the public are sort of skeptical and questioning all this is because law enforcement never comes.
Oh, look, it's a white liberal who's foaming at the mouth immediately after this happens and says,
30.
I don't understand
Still
how they
could have
want us to
kids
believe
for a
that
little
it's
while,
not
yeah.
staged. How is this only happening to Trump? You want
For
to know
about
how, bitch?
7 more
Because
years,
people
maybe.
like you with Trump derangement syndrome continue to rattle all these lies, and you encourage the mentally ill to commit these acts of violence. The tolerant left ain't so tolerant, is it? But immediately, we get two reactions. One is it's staged, and two is, oh, fuck, they missed. So which one is it? You upset that they missed, or you upset that you think it's staged? Your whole ass bio literally says separating news from the noise. You are the noise. You are responsible. You know, I saw this video, and then I also saw that you're a CNN correspondent. So obviously this is useless because your brain is fried from the TDS already. But I needed to make the video anyway. You are responsible. People like you are responsible for these things happening. There's no conspiracy theory. We have a huge mental illness issue in America right now. It's an epidemic. It's an epidemic. On top of that,
You can say that again.
you have liberal face. Okay? You have liberal face.
Such a cult on the left.
Go to bed, Karen.
Yeah.
Trump is still your fucking daddy.
That would really trigger him.
Obviously, I mean, this is a total state of chaos right now in the ballroom, and we're seated maybe 50 feet from the stage where the president was up there, the First Lady Melania Trump.
Okay, we have to stay here for now.
Security is telling us that everything's okay. The shooter, there was a shooter? 1 second, guys. I'm literally. What happened?
We're trying to identify it now.
Where was the shooter?
Somewhere out there.
In the lobby? In the lobby? All right, control. All right, guys. I just want you to know this is not verified. We're just listening to what's happening right now. But we have security around us, and it's Secret Service because there's a lot of members of the administration here. The Secretary of Education is seated right next to me, and her security just said, confirmed that there was a shooter in the lobby. It's not clear where. Obviously, it's a very big hotel. In the lobby of the Hilton, they said he is confirmed dead.
Yeah, I wish I had some. I grew up in a huge family, Marianne. So which one was I just on? Okay, let's jump on this.
Count your days, presidential party. If I see any one of you and I know who you are, I'm not going to have to say it out loud. I know. If I see any one of you and I have a loaded shotgun, I'm putting it between your eyes. It starts with Trump first, obviously, and then it goes down the line of power.
You think there are a little mental illness there? They want to shoot us in the head?
So if any of you guys are coming across my path and I happen to see you, it will be your last.
She's faking a southern accent, though. You know, I think that's pretty bad to do that when you're not really that way.
So we've now had, 3 assassination attempts against Donald Trump? 4? I don't know, it's getting hard to keep count. But now Democrats are coming out in droves to claim that the whole entire thing at the White House Correspondents' Dinner was staged and was a hoax to make Trump look good because people keep trying to kill him. Just a false flag, nothing to see here. So you're telling me that of all the people that the Trump administration could have gotten to try to pull this thing off, they didn't go with a crazy homeless person. They didn't go with some mentally ill nutbag. They went with a 31-year-old black man and a teacher from California with a family to come all the way to Washington, D.C. to stage a shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That's what you're going with.
I think
and
our
somehow
job is
that
to change
sounds
the
more
world.
plausible to you.
It's going to take a couple generations, but we got to change it.
Than the fact that leftists have actually been brainwashed into believing that Donald Trump is a fascist dictator and a Nazi who is a threat to our democracy, who's going to take down the country, and someone needs to take him out before he does. What makes a lot more sense is that you have spent years telling people that Donald Trump is a threat to this country and that we would be better off with him dead. And now people are actually trying to pull that off. The truth is that this shows us once again that conservatives are not the violent ones. Leftists are. We have seen that over and over and over. This exposes one more time.
Sure seems like the trans ones are the worst ones.
Exactly who leftists are. And y'all don't like that.
That's true.
Why can none of you fucking aim across a grassy knoll in the back of a moving car? We were real Americans. Stop pulling the trigger unless you fucking have the shot!
Got it. The left is evil. So tolerant. So loving. I mean, if you're an illegal rapist, murderer, or the scum of other countries' prisons, they will cry, protest, and burn down buildings over you. But Americans who love this country so much and just want to make it great, you better hire security at this point. And when are they gonna learn?
Are they a long ways away?
Never gonna allow that to happen. They just can't learn that, you can't stop the Trump train, baby. But for real, vile. That is just despicable. Anybody can find out where that works, because, you know, we're in the holding these people accountable business, and the business is oh so good. What a nice walking ray of sunshine. Again, when are they going to reopen the asylums? Because,
Need to.
We're going to need 2 for this one.
I think we do need 2 for this one. I don't know. Let me go with a short video first.
I wake up each morning hoping he has died.
They literally make videos like this all the time.
I go to bed each night hoping by the time I get up in the morning, he has died. I'm fully convinced that we can't even begin to start fixing any of our problems.
That's a real long ways away, Marianne.
Until he has died. For the love of all things good, just
Marianne, how'd she end up way out there?
Fucking die!
Yeah, he seems normal, pretty stable.
Why were liberal influencers detailing the route Trump was going to take to get to the Correspondents' Dinner and showing and speaking about how easy it was to get into the building? Was there some sort of super secret event going on? You have got to see what Aaron Parnas says. This is him before the event.
Now, for perspective, I'm across the street, right? I can't get into the building. But essentially, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and all of them, they're going to be driving up this avenue right here. Start down there, all the way up here. And they're going to be met with the protesters as they come in. And these aren't the only protesters tonight. There are billboard trucks driving around talking about CBS's down ratings this year and more. So this is what you're going to see if you walk into the White House Correspondents' Dinner tonight.
And on top of that, he keeps reiterating that he was not going to the Correspondents' Dinner. In the first video, he says he can't get into the building. In the second, he speaks about how easy it was to get in the building and how he was at some other event. What other event were you at the same time as the Correspondents' Dinner? Why would you be allowed in the building, and who were you with?
The security situation at this dinner needs to be questioned. I wasn't at the dinner because I was boycotting it for a variety of reasons, but I was at the hotel about an hour and a half before the dinner began. There was other events happening in the Hilton Hotel tonight, and I was there for about 30 minutes covering the protest outside, and then also went inside the building for about 15 minutes. To put into perspective, you actually never actually go through a metal detector when you're entering that building, despite the fact that the president, vice president, speaker of the House, they're all going to be there. The only time you had to enter through a metal detector was when you go into the actual ballroom where the White House Correspondents' Dinner was being actually held. But there were plenty of other rooms nearby and above it, et cetera, that you didn't need a metal detector through. So to walk into the building, all you needed to do is show some form of invitation, whether it's to the dinner or to one of the other events that were happening that night.
So why would Aaron Parnas and other
I think it'll be a lot tighter than the next time.
liberals that have pushed dangerous rhetoric in this country be allowed in the same building just an hour and a half before all of this went down? Does any of this seem normal to you? Because I'm scratching my head. Let me know what you guys think.
Their money. Is that part of the reason why she still talks to you? It's because you can send her money. You know, sometimes it's like that. She's left us, and she wouldn't have anything to do with you if she didn't need money, huh? Sorry to hear that, Marianne. I'm sorry to hear that. Another short one here.
The administration, and the guy is a sick guy. When you read his manifesto, he hates Christians. That's one thing for sure. He hates Christians, a hatred. And I think his sister or his brother actually was complaining about it. You know, they were even complaining to law enforcement. So he was a very troubled guy.
I was taken by your.
I hope, Marianne, yours isn't so far left that you ever have to see her in the news eventually. I don't know.
Here, but I want to ask you about this news that we heard from the White House about Cole Allen, the suspected shooter, and his motive. I'm being told that he had a manifesto saying he wanted to target Trump administration officials. He had a lot of anti-Trump and anti-Christian rhetoric on his social media accounts, and left a manifesto in his hotel room that his brother had notified New London police about prior to this incident. I know Secret Service agents have been talking to his family members, his sister, at their residence, and said that this individual apparently attended a No Kings protest in California at some point, and that there was some concern that he might carry something out like this. What is your reaction to being the target of so much violence and hearing these new details just as they're breaking?
Well, I heard about the London situation, and I wish they would have told us about it a little bit, but it is what it is. You know, we had a great group of people there last night. We had both inside in terms of the people, the audience, and also because they were all, you know, they were strong, relatively speaking, compared to what the potential threat was. And the Secret Service and all law enforcement I thought they were outstanding. You know, you can always, they can nitpick and everything else, but they were outstanding. They stopped them cold. And there was no games being played, that I can tell you. And you just look at them; these were strong, solid people who've got to get paid. You know, this is a group that is not being paid. If you think about it, you know, the Democrats are holding up their pay, and I think maybe they'll loosen up a little bit now because I thought great talent was displayed last night. Bravery, but talent. He came in running like he was an NFL running back. Frankly, he was very fast, and they just stopped him cold. And there was no question. He never even came close to getting by the doors or getting through the doors. And if he did, there were so many people in there too, also security. And you have to go through a lot of layers. They did really a good job. I was very satisfied with it.
Yep. I don't know. Here's the
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out.
Yep. I got two more. One longer one.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Are they a threat to democracy?
Tried to time it so it come right out at 8 o'clock. It's going to be a little short.
Yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not giving them climate change? Yes.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
She's a genuine danger to American security.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
We have to preserve our democracy, or speak out against lies and hate.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Have a consistent narrative about how dangerous
Trump is. President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy. Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy and our most fundamental freedoms.
Kamala needs to stop saying that President Trump is a threat to democracy. It's now being received by some unhinged people as a call to action. Enough is enough.
We got to get back in here first. Here's this. What? Now this is AI. What someone did is they took the original video and they used AI to clean it up. It does look identical to the other one, except for all the lines are all cleaner and stuff like that. Okay, so because I've watched it several times, each person's exactly in the same position and all that. It's just clear. This guy having a sign and this and that. It's enhanced with AI.
Shall I post it
because the other one was very grainy. With every one of these people, I've stopped it, paused it, put one side by side. I put it on 2 different screens, and all the people are in the same position and all that. They just did it with AI. I got another little cute one. I'm going to play to make us to the top of the hour here. Let me grab that one. It's in the other folder. This one's kind of cute. It's funny. This is the last one.
Ayatollah Trump speaking. Who is this?
Sir, or should I say, Mr. Supreme Leader, it's Kennedy. I just wanted to call and say thank you, sir. You flew across the world, put on a fake beard, shoulder checked the guard, and drove a stolen Jeep through the desert to save my behind. That's above and beyond, even for Louisiana standards.
John, it was nothing. Really. Very easy rescue, actually. Probably the easiest rescue in military history. I walked in, I walked out. I had you in the Jeep before they even knew what happened. Very smooth, very presidential. And the beard looked incredible on me, by the way. Many people said I should keep it.
Sir, that beard looked like a possum taped to a pancake, but your heart was in the right place.
Beautiful comparison, John. Very poetic. Now, listen, I'm sitting here in Tehran, running 2 countries at once, which nobody's ever done before, believe me. I've got the Diet Coke. I've got the desk. I've got the flags. Everything's tremendous. Iran is already looking better. I repainted the office. Got rid of the carpets, very outdated carpets. Nobody should ever have to look at those.
Well, sir, I hate to rain on your parade, but you might want to turn on the television.
Breaking tonight, despite the fall of Ayatollah Khomeini, the Iranian regime's military apparatus is very much alive. Iranian warships have mobilized across the Gulf. Submarines have been spotted. Retaliation strikes are reportedly being planned as we speak. The regime may be headless, but the body is still swinging.
John, are you seeing this?
I'm seeing it, sir. Them warships are angrier than a hornet in a Coke can. Khamenei's gone, but his boys are still out there throwing punches like they didn't get the memo.
This is a disaster. The whole thing's a disaster. I just redecorated, and now I got to deal with submarines? I'm very upset about it, John. Not happy about it. Not happy at all.
Well, sir, we need somebody to fly out there and...
You should see what they're putting on their TV, since they can send it only to their people there. You wouldn't believe the stuff that they're doing with AI, and they've got them sinking. They got them rushing into Washington, D.C. and this and that. It's unbelievable. They got all these ships going into D.C. and New York City and taking down New York City. And it's unbelievable what the propaganda they're putting out there. It's beyond belief. A lot of them have woken up to the ones that are for the Ayatollah and all them, they are starting to realize that they're getting fed absolute bullshit.
Think them ships. Somebody expendable. Somebody we won't miss too much if things go sideways.
I'm not sending our top guys, John. Pete Hegseth is too valuable.
Watch who he sends. You won't believe.
I'm too valuable. You just got rescued. We're running out of people I care about.
Sir, I got it.
Uh-oh. What is it this time, Kennedy?
The one and only Joe Biden.
What? What in the Louisiana are you smoking, John?
We get Biden. Sleepy Joe? Think about it. He's been wandering around with nothing to do since he left office. He's been turning on the Democrats left and right, probably after 4 years of being stuck with that comma laugh rattling around his skull like a pinball. The man's available. He's got military clearance. And quite frankly, if something goes wrong, the political fallout is manageable.
Half the time, he doesn't know what state he's in. You want him flying a fighter jet over water with live missiles? He'll fall asleep before he gets to the runway.
That's the beauty of it, sir. Low risk, high reward. If he succeeds, we win. If he fails, well, we tried.
Okay, get him on the phone.
Mr. Former President, thank you for coming in. We've got a situation in the Gulf. Iranian warships, submarines, the whole shebang. We need a pilot to fly out there and neutralize the threat.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. I've done this before, I think.
I think they got the
Was
voice
it planes,
down pretty good.
Or was it trains? Either way,
I think he's a
I'm
lot
your
more
guy,
bald,
Jack.
though.
Joe, listen to me very carefully. I need you to fly a jet, push a button, and blow up some boats. That's it. 3 steps. Can you remember 3 steps?
3 steps. Fly the jet, push the button, blow up the, what was the third one?
The boats, Joe. The boats, for Pete's sake.
Right, the boats. Yeah, I knew that. I was testing you.
You were testing me? Did everyone hear that? He was testing me.
Sir, here's your flight suit, here's your helmet, and here's a sticky note attached that says push red button at boats. Should be foolproof. Get him, Tiger.
Oh, I like sticky notes. Jill uses those. Good system, man.
Joe, one more thing. Do not fall asleep. I know that's a big ask, probably the biggest ask of your entire career, but stay awake. The fate of the Gulf depends on you staying awake. Can you do that?
Absolutely, Jack. Wide awake. Never been more awake.
Ay, ay, ay. That's it. We're all gonna die.
He's got to have his ice cream. The stuff they can do with AI these days. Chocolate chip. Sleepy Joe Force 1. Push red button.
Joe, you reading me?
This is your supreme leader.
From both countries. Do you copy?
Loud and clear, pal. I'm in the jet. Feeling good, and I am feeling sharp. Let's do this thing.
Mr. Biden, you're going to fly south over the Gulf. The warships are clustered in a formation about 40 miles out. Submarines below. Lock on and fire. Simple as crawfish on a Sunday.
Crawfish. I love crawfish. Jill makes a great... Wait, which button is the radio again?
He's already lost, John. He's already lost.
Okay, I see him. Big boats, mean-looking boats. I'm locking on. I'm focused. I'm...
Warning. Terrain. Pull up.
Joe, he's falling asleep. John, he's falling asleep.
By golly, he lasted longer than I expected. That's almost a compliment.
This is nice. Very nice. No meetings, no stairs, no teleprompter, just peace and... No, not the laugh.
The laugh wakes him up.
Joe,
Pull up. Pull up. What are you doing?
He's falling faster than approval ratings in an election year.
I'm up. Nobody, and I mean nobody, makes me hear that laugh and gets away with it. Where are those boats? Where are they, man?
He's awake. He's angry. This might actually work.
The Kamala alarm
Well,
worked
adrenaline,
better
huh?
than any alarm clock in history.
Rocking on. All of them. Every last ship, every submarine. This one's for 4 years of that last. That's what happens when you don't subscribe. Jack.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Joe, I got to say, and I don't say this often, you did a tremendous job.
These guys are good.
Very impressed.
I have to
Nobody's ever
hand it
seen
to 'em.
anything like it. I don't even believe it.
I mess around with AI. You want to make a little
Thanks,
short one.
Jack. I was motivated.
Motivated by the nightmare of Kamala's laugh. If that ain't American fuel, I don't know what is.
They able to land that thing? No, not really.
Joe, come here. I can't believe I'm saying this, but you're a hero. A sleepy, confused, barely functional hero, but a hero. And I respect that. I respect it very much, actually.
Thanks, Donald. That means a lot, I think. What were we doing again?
Mr. Former Director, on behalf of the Gulf, the company, and everyone who's ever been woken up by a terrifying sound, thank you. You flew in there like a bat out of a bad dream and got the job done.
I appreciate that, Senator. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need a nap. A real one this time. No Kamala.
Somebody get this man a juice box and a blanket. He earned it. Very much earned it.
Think he'll remember any of this tomorrow?
Not a chance, John. Not a chance. But that's okay. We got it on camera. And the ratings are going to be incredible.
I love Licky Tower with the sprinkles and the
Pretty good. All of them. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. I tell you. All right. Take care, everyone. God bless us. I should see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. All right. Unless something comes up. God bless. Bye-bye.